Solid in defence and attack. Try scored 50. And their top tackler is Mick Cassidy, who is playing in his favoured second row position. And needless to say, the top metre gainer is the winger, Jason Robinson. The Saints have not lost at home since January the 1st, 1996. 16 consecutive home Super League games, 18 months. 22 consecutive home games, including cup ties in all. St Helens have won 7, but their halo as champions is starting to slip with those 3 defeats. And 1 draw, of course, here against the London Broncos. Only Bradford have scored more points than St Helens. 56 tries. They can score from anywhere on the field, and their top tackler is the new boy, the Kiwi Junior O'Neill, and the man who gets them rolling forward is the huge Apollo Perolini, the Western Samoan. And that St Helens team is why they keep rolling up here to Nosey Road to see them. The Saints have got Prescott as fullback, Arnold, Haig, Matauti, Sullivan. It's Hammond and Goulding. Forwards Perolini, Cunningham, O'Neill, Pickervance, Joint and Morley. The bench Busby, Leatham, O'Loughlin and Anderson. And for Wigan, Paul, Robinson, Connolly, Radlinski and Johnson, Wright and Smith, Cowie, Hall, Hanson, Horton, Cassidy, Farrell. On the bench, Holgate, Leicester, Cardis and Talek. Match referee is Steve Presley. We're all just about ready. The crowd in, holding its breath for this ultimate Super League derby. And so it's St Helens against Wigan, live at Nosey Road. Champions with a little point to prove recently, but Wigan will be up for this. Henry Paul with the first run. Good chase though by O'Neill and by Chris Joint. Wigan in their changed jerseys of blue. St Helens in their now traditional black, red and white. And you can expect no quarter to be asked or given in this match.
It's important that St Helens get really stuck into this, Eddie. They've got to get off to that flying start. They were very sluggish against Salford last Thursday. They really have got to get that flying start.
Wigan in possession here with Robinson. Robinson getting some space out wide. He's turned Prescott. What a start for Wigan. What a start for Robinson. 46 seconds on the clock as Robinson scoops in. First try to Wigan. Jason Robinson, the try scorer.
Beautiful play on the blind side. Tony Smith came from the open. Who else but Andy Farrell? They used Horton as a dummy. They had him all wrapped up. Hammond and Arnold, he was there, but they couldn't get anywhere near this guy. We said before the game had started that it took him a while to get into the swing of things. Well, this is swinging big time. They went far too high. Arnold should have gone low, so should Hammond. Look how he turned the fullback, Steve Prescott, in with sheer speed, balance and step. What an amazing start. Barely a minute has gone in this game.
Jason Robinson with the try. 3 tries in his last 2 matches, and ominously for St Helens, 2 tries here in Wigan's last win at Nosey Road, August 1995. What a start for Wigan, just what they wanted. Robinson with the first try, and the game not a minute old. 46 seconds, we made it on our clock as Robinson crossed that line and touched down. So Andrew Farrell, that's the angle he has. The Wigan skipper to try and improve that try. Not a problem. Farrell, Robinson and Wigan and Eric Hughes look like they might mean business.
See how Smith comes from the open to the blind. There's only one man moving up forward. Arnold then gets sucked in, and when they offload the ball, Robinson has got nowhere to go. There's 3 to beat. In and out, shake it all about. They really should have closed him down. That was very poor defence indeed.
Matautia with the drive from the kickoff. Wigan Lost to St Helens for the first time in a decade on Central Park on Good Friday, but they've put together 3 wins since. It's their best run of 1997. Perolini goes down. Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, just watching impassively on. You wouldn't know that his team trailed to an early try. Joint with a good run, met by a firm challenge from Farrell. This is Kieran Cunningham taking on his opposite number, Martin Hall. Good run from Cunningham.
Good work also by Joint, getting over the advantage line. Cunningham, a quick play of the ball. It's his speciality.
And that ball from Bobby Goulding, I think, caught the wind. It went up in the air and it bounced down kindly off of St Helens' leg for Simon Horton.
Pretty difficult out there. It's a swirling wind also. So the kick is going to be an option that's going to be difficult to defuse.
Here now is Farrell. He plays the ball to Hall. Now Cowie. Cowie wrapped up by Morley, who gets the ball away to Hall, and he then finds Tony Smith. Smith manages to unload despite the attention from Perolini. This is good stuff from Wigan. Cassidy.
Good support play. They're twisting in the tackle of Wigan. They're confident. See how they're going over the line, but the Saints' defence is not moving forward. You cannot afford to hang back, not when Wigan are playing like this.
Smith gets the ball to Farrell. He pops it up in turn for Connolly. Connolly, former St Helens player, of course, great favourite here. Every time he gets tackled, there's a great round of applause from the terraces. Good kick from Farrell. High, hanging kick. Well claimed. Brilliant play from Prescott.
Good work also by Pickavant and Joint. They shielded the full back there. But it was a nice kick up from Andrew Farrell. We mentioned this swirling wing.
Pickavant with a run. Well, if the early try for Wigan would have motivated Wigan, it certainly is motivating the champions. And they've moved off the mark there, Wigan at the play of the ball. Penalty to St Helens.
Well, Hansen the culprit, but Wigan should have conceded a penalty before this. Cassidy's swinging arm. Hansen, the big prop forward. He's in fine form too. He gets through a lot of work. He'll need it.
Cunningham to Goulding. Hammond takes over. This now is Perolini.
There's a swinging arm from Cassidy. Attacks the head. Pickavant would have felt it. Oh, bad mistake.
It's gone out to Robinson via Radlinski. Robinson presses the foot on the gas. This time they managed to close him down. Scrambling St Helens defence.
Tremendous speed there by Robinson, but good work by Pickavant. He knew he couldn't match him for speed, so he went back on the inside to ensure that he couldn't get the pass away.
Now Lee Hansen, the man brought to Wigan from Widnes, the huge Tongan international prop forward. Tony Smith now on a diagonal run. Defence is melted. Tony Smith in easy. Oh, well of the St Helens defence, but credit Tony Smith with the try. Saints just fell off him. A huge gap opened up and Tony Smith said, I'm through it, and he was.
If you hang around, this is the second occasion they've allowed him to come from the open to the blind. The defence was non-existent there. This is a shambles, the Saints defence, but let's take nothing away from Smith's beautiful run on the angle. Poor work there in the dummy marker position. They hung back, there was a prop forward, second rower just not moving forward. Runs through, Perolini, Pickavant. It was easy meat for this man. Tony Smith, he took a while to get into the swing of things at Wigan, but he's running like an international should. He's at his best. Wigan are on fire. The Saints crowd are absolutely stunned.
Tries in each of his last 4 matches now for Wigan, and all of them victories. He's got 6 in the last 7 in Super League. In fine form, Tony Smith. The touchdown right behind the post, so this is meat and drink to a man of Farrell's capabilities with the boot. And this is a dream start for Wigan. It's a nightmare for St Helens, and Wigan are ahead by 12 points to 0.
When you're in defence, Pickavant is circled. You do not stand around. You have to move. Look at that. That's a sign of a player having a rest. He should have been in the one line. He wasn't. It was easy meat for Smith. Problems for that man.
Yeah, Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, watching as Hammond went for the kick-off, missed it. Matautia went for the kick-off, missed it. Ball runs dead in goal. It's going to be a goal line dropout to St Helens. More pressure then. Matautia made the second error. Hammond missed it first time.
Well, we knew that Saints were going through the wars, bad injuries, but that is no excuse for the lackluster affair in their defensive pattern. If they don't close Tony Smith down, he's going to run riot tonight. More to come, I'm sure.
The match is only 8.5 minutes old, and St Helens have already dropped off 5 tackles. Wigan have been beaten by the Saints twice this year already, once in the Challenge Cup, once of course at Central Park when it was all going so well for St Helens, and they will take no mercy tonight, don't worry about that. Connolly takes over from Robinson. Gary Connolly, 134 appearances for St Helens. That's a drop goal from Farrell. Well, they're really going to rub salt in it at every opportunity, Steve-O.
Nice and easy does it. It was on the last, and you can see, well, the work at the second marker is absolutely awful. Non-existent. They knew it was the last tackle. Was there anyone to apply pressure to him? Answer, no. Harsh words are needed by the Saints coach Sean McRae, and get it out there as quick as possible, please.
Chris Joint, only just back in the side, has needed some running repairs. In fact, I think Joint is coming to the side. No, I was going to say he's coming to the sideline to go off.
Well, this is a passage of play. They kept the ball alive. They can't afford to do that. Wigan are so much in charge at the moment.
That's a better run from Matautia. He gets it away to Pickavance, but scrambling from Cassidy, and Cowie coming in quickly too. Perolini's the dummy half.
Well, if ever there was a time where the Saints pack of forwards really had to get some hard work in, then it's here and now.
Prescott slipped. The turf here at Knowsley Road, I can tell you, is very, very lush. It's like a green carpet out there.
Ideal surface for fast open football, and that's what we're getting served up.
Pickavance hit the gap. That's a beautiful ball from Pickavance to Haig. Hammond is there. Goulding wanted it on the inside long. Instead, they went for the short ball to Haig, and he put the pass down.
Great work by Pickavance. Beautiful offload there to the centre, Haig. Hammond, but he couldn't see Goulding on the inside for some unknown reason. This is a beautiful pass, and you'll find that Hammond has a quick look and decides not to go there. Hay took his eyes off the football. Goulding curses big time.
Chance gone for St Helens. That would have lifted them and lifted their crowd, who are getting, even though the match is only 11 minutes old, they're getting a little edgy. Cassidy with that run, halted there by Julian O'Neill.
That must have lifted their spirits. So the big second rower, Ian Pickavance, he's playing well. That's his second good clean break there, but it was a beautiful offload.
Smith to Wright, and Wright chips one down for the speedsters, Radlinski and Robinson, but even they couldn't catch that. There was too much weight behind it.
Disappointed there by Nigel Wright. Slowly but surely coming back to his best. Horrific injury list by that youngster. Nice to see him get in a regular place these days, but far too strong on that occasion.
Now Perolini again, offside against Wigan. Moving up too quickly as the ball was played.
Plenty to select there as well. Horton a little bit too quick. So was Wright. Quite a few to select there by Steve Presley. Well, it's fast and furious. 12 minutes gone into this game. But what a dream start for the Warriors. 13-0.
St Helens, though, looking to get their evening underway. It has not really started in the best possible vein for them, has it? Morley, though, disappears under that challenge from Cassidy and Hansen. This now is Pickavance. Pickavance looking to offload, thought better of it, took the tackle, Cowie and Horton. Here's Goulding, he helps it on to Joint. Joint to Matautia. Strong run from Matautia, even stronger tackle from Connolly. Joint again. St Helens vice-captain back in the side, they're delighted he's there.
Surely the kick by Goulding over to Arnold's wing.
Drills the ball along the ground, but far too deep.
Wasted effort there by the Saints skipper Bobby Goulding.
Some later scores coming in from other matches. London leading in Paris 12-6 at half-time. And Oldham ahead against Salford. In fact, they've beaten Salford. Oldham 19, Salford 10, the side that beat St Helens only on Thursday, going down to the Oldham Bears at Boundary Park. Well, 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 it just shows you nothing is a certainty in Super League. And I suppose that must mean that Bradford Bulls will not win the championship now.
I knew you'd twist it around.
Well, I've got to come back sometime.
Well, at least you're off the fence for a change.
Ball into the corner from Hall is collected by Anthony Sullivan.
Nice kick and chase as well. They really are playing confident on the Wigan side, sharing the work, and you see how quickly they're moving up out wide. They're not allowing St Helens any latitude when they're on the attack.
That's high from Hansen, but the referee said it went on the shoulder first on Pickavance. Play on.
Good refereeing by Presley. He was pretty close to the action there.
Julian O'Neill.
Nothing wrong with the tackle.
Connolly working hard at the mark position. Oh, Hansen comes barreling in on Sullivan, and he's complaining to the referee, Anthony Sullivan. In actual fact, though, the ball-carrying arm was not on the ground. Had Hansen not come in, he could easily have offloaded that pass.
That was fair, but was it the knee? There you see the left knee coming through. Not so much of the fact that was it a flop or a late tackle. That was okay. Crowd don't like it, but another poor kick from Bobby Goulding. Well, 3 pinpoint accurate kicks on Thursday against Salford brought Saints back into the game, but he's off form so far.
Andy Johnson tackled by Julian O'Neill. Robinson, the dummy half. Robinson looking busy, wanting to be involved. Henry Paul now. Henry Paul, of course, injured on Good Friday against the Saints at Central Park. How about that for a tackle? How would you like to have been Gary Connolly then? He lost the ball, it's play on.
Well, Connolly tried to keep the ball alive by playing the ball quickly when he's got to stand up first. Good refereeing by Presley there. Connolly claimed he was interfered with. This is the impact. Tautia Sullivan. It was good run by Connolly. There you see. He should have got up first. Placed the ball on the ground.
Well, Gary Connolly is in the wars. There was a very early tackle by Matautia, and there's a touch of blood flowing from his mouth, but he's allowed to stay on the field. Well, as I said, no quarter asked, and certainly none given on a night like this. St Helens, what would they give for a try? Hammond straightens it up. Good run from Hammond. Went without the ball.
He was reefed away from him one-on-one. This is the incident there. Sullivan kicked the ball. That should have been a penalty. Lucky to get away with that, but it was good defence by Wigan. Hammond was carrying the football and had it reefed away one-on-one.
Now Cowie taking on O'Neill again, and Pickavance is there. He gets the pass away to Hall, who in turn finds Radlinski. Radlinski is grounded by Pickavance, and the tackler was Cunningham as well.
Wigan very quick to play this football. As soon as they hit the deck, they're trying to get up there. You can see Hansen. Let's get on with it.
I think, Steve-O, they have seen the tapes from Australia, and they know that's the secret and the key to victories in the World Club Championship.
And the Super League here, they realise that Saints, especially in the second marker position, are very slow.
Oh, what a run from Cassidy. He ghosted round them. Support's there from Nigel Wright. He's looking for support, Wright. Gets the pass inside to Robinson. That is brilliant. That's a magnificent try from Jason Robinson. And Wigan, they are back to their best here. Sean McGray knows his side are in danger of being taken to the cleaners. And Robinson with his second try.
We spoke about the defence being slow, the link out wide, but look at the dummy here from Cassidy. He barely just rolled the ball across his chest. Cunningham got nowhere near him. Wright, who came back on the inside, realised he didn't have the speed, commits the pull back, and what great work by the winger. Spins round, nothing they can do about it. Basic football, 2 links, but look at this. Deary me today, it was not a good effort from Pickavance and Cunningham, but good work by Wright. Commits the full-back before offloading. Nothing that Sullivan could do about that. Wright realises he does not have the speed. He's been out for quite some time, but he has the strength. Commit the full-back. Beautiful inside pass. When this man comes at you at top speed, look how he spins away. Beautiful football. Lovely to watch.
Robinson's try, and Andy Farrell is about to try and improve that. He's already kicked 2 out of 2. He's about to kick 3 out of 3. Doesn't miss from that range. And it's greeted with great cheers from one end where the Wigan faithful are, but silence on the other 3 sides of this ground.
Look how they commit the fence, and the defenders are not moving forward yet again. Pickavance failed to close him. At least Cunningham committed him, even though he didn't get to complete the tackle. Wright did well. Oh, great work there by the winger. He must have run 50 metres to put himself into that position. You talk about all the hard work with players off the football. The support was just outstanding.
Well, Wigan look as though they are back to their awesome best on the evidence of the opening 19 minutes here. 19-0. Jason Robinson, normally 1 clean break a match. This evening already he's made 3, and he scored 2 tries. And he came into this game needing 4 for 100 for Wigan. He only needs 2 more now. The way he's playing, he might get them here. It's a little bit like, if you can cast your mind back, Steve-O, to last September when Saints had won the league and cup double, and they met Wigan at the Old Trafford Premiership, and that night Wigan were in no mood to take any prisoners, and they didn't.
Well, they didn't need much for the motivation. They've yet to come away with a win against his side this season, so they really did want to get into the swing of things. Wigan are in a mean mood. They are sharing the work, but I'm afraid that Saints, they can only blame themselves. The quick play of the ball by Wigan, and the markers are not getting themselves up. The players are not working for each other in defence. They are not working as a unit.
Right to Farrell. Radlinski went on the decoy run. The ball didn't come. It comes instead to Connolly. Connolly again clattered by Chris Joynt. Cowie the dummy half. Tony Smith now. Good to see Tony Smith settling into the Wigan pattern. Prescott with the run, but look at the strength from Cassidy, backed up by Tony Smith as well.
Interesting you talk about Tony Smith settling in. A lot of people thought that Smith was just a support player, but he has proved tonight 2 angle runs from the open to the blind side, has caught the defence going to sleep. And he's a creator as well.
He is, and he's forming a highly promising partnership with Nigel Wright. And Nigel Wright and Tony Smith were in the same England squad together in France in 1995. Smith coming on to replace Nigel Wright as a late substitute. But here they are now forming the partnership in the engine room of this Wigan side. And I know there won't be many St Helens supporters who will agree.
That'll be knock on.
But it's great, Steve-O, to see this Wigan side in this mood, bearing in mind the World Club.
Too true, and you can see Andy Farrell just got a fingertip to that. Connolly invited to it, well spotted by Steve Presley, the official, who looked towards the touch judge. You got assistant there, Gary Sunderland winner, in fine form. He really has.
He has shone out like a beacon all year, Farrell.
Tremendous season.
Even when it's been going wrong for Wigan.
Well, it was tough for the first 4 games, wasn't it? But he stood out so strong. He kept going, while others around him sort of lacked confidence. But they've got it now.
They have. Wigan have got confidence, and St Helens have got all the problems. Trailing by 19 points to 0. Perolini looks unwell again. Goulding A scampering little run from Bobby Goulding. All offside though against Wigan.
Good run by Bobby Goulding. That's what they needed. They've got enough something to lift their spirits now.
Quick tap penalty, and Joint now is within 1 metre of that Wigan try line. Cunningham gets the pass away to O'Neill.
They've got to use the dummy runners. One out won't get through this Wigan defence.
Goulding, and Cassidy caught him high, but Goulding gets up. He's on his own, Goulding.
Cassidy, a very lucky boy. Goulding just ducked in time.
Cunningham for the line. Held up, though, the strength of Hansen and company. 4 tackles gone. 2 more available here for Saints. With Prescott now. Trying to jink his way to the line, Prescott. But no one looking over the shoulder for the flick pass. Maybe they will now with Goulding. It was too short for Perolini.
The plan move, the first of the match from the Saints. Come unstuck. Idea was there, but you could see the ball was far too low. Cassidy did well to get himself in front. Beautiful tackle, but it was not the best pass. Idea was there.
Farrell, look at the run from Farrell. Saints have made 6 handling errors. Remember, they also came up with a ton of missed passes early on, and now they've got another penalty against them for interfering at the ball, at the play the ball.
Quick play the ball, so the skipper Farrell make 30 metres downfield. O'Neill and Perolini interfering at the play the ball. Trying to allow the advantage to Steve Presley, the referee, on forthcoming, and not surprisingly, with the scoreline at 19-0, the Wigan skipper Andrew Farrell will slow things down.
He's going to take a shot at goal.
You can see quite clearly that the Saints defence are just waiting for the Wigan players to come to them. You've got to go forward and put confusion into the ball carrier's mind. If you hang back, it just helps build the confidence.
Perfect indication there of why this penalty has been given, with O'Neill with his hand on the ball as Farrell got up to try and play it quickly. So he has this opportunity from just half a metre inside the St Helens half. He's bang in front, he's a big lad, and he can easily clip this one over here. Just pulled it though. Just pulled it wide of the post, but the important thing is the ball goes dead, and Wigan will get the ball back from a dropout on the 20-metre line. 19-0 then, Wigan ahead. And St Helens are making changes, but that's the Wigan coach Eric Hughes, who once occupied the seat now owned by that man, Sean McRae. And Eric Hughes would like nothing better as Cunningham goes off to be replaced by Anderson. Eric Hughes would like nothing better than to go home from Knowsley Road tonight with a victory under his belt. His first since he left Knowsley Road as the coach here 14 months ago.
Well, he'd have to feel very confident and very happy indeed the way that the team are playing. Keeping this ball alive, the support play is superb.
And everything's coming off for them.
Well, they're chancing their arm, but it's the way that they hit the tackle, spinning in the tackle. There's support there all the time. There it is.
Farrell. Ball down by Joint. Pickavance was there as well. Connolly is the dummy half. Into the arms of Henry Paul. Henry Paul, quiet thus far. Can't get away from Pickavance again. Martin Hall to Tony Smith. Tony Smith to Simon Horton, who put the ball down.
Went behind him. Just overran it a little bit there. Held on to the football. Did Tony Smith far too long. Tried to run across the face of the defence. Did that okay. But Horton had gone.
Well, that's one more than he normally makes. Simon Horton. He's had a big season too thus far, Simon Horton. Missed out on the Lions tour because of injury last winter. But number 11, there he is in the tackling. I think he'll be a candidate for the British team to face Australia in the tests at the end of this year. Matautia does well. Gets the ball away to Anderson. Anderson then to Goulding. Goulding taking them off. That's a better run from Goulding.
Great stuff by the skipper, and it needed to be as well. That's the second occasion he's taken on the defence.
This is the last tackle for St Helens. Anderson's on his own, chips it through, and he's just taken out without the ball by Connolly. The referee says there's nothing really wrong with that. He lost the ball anyway, did Anderson, so that's the turnover on the last.
Well, quick thinking though by the substitute, Anderson. Referee Presley saying that Connolly had already committed himself to the man. 50-50 shout, but they got away with it on that occasion. Well, a little bit more enterprising there by the Saints. That will lift their spirits, and they needed it. First we saw the skill of Bobby Goulding. We need more of that. He's got to take them on. And the substitute, Paul Anderson. He's got plenty of skill as this young Anderson.
Cowie keeping the legs going and getting the pass away to Hall. And that was Smith, and this is Farrell. And out wide it comes to Johnson. And Andy Johnson's got Sullivan after him. Flips the ball in field. It's bounced for Tony Smith. It's another try. It's another Wigan try. Tony Smith second. And the St Helens crowd appealing that there was a forward pass in the build-up to that, but I don't think there was. And Smith gets his second of the match.
It was a pass out wide to Andy Johnson. Look how they get the link. Cowie did well to get it away, but you'll find it's okay. It's a ball line for mine. It's a beautiful long ball. They caught the sliding defence. Johnson did so well. But you could see there the anticipation of Smith was quite superb. The big run from Cowie. They came to him. They didn't finish the job off. We spoke of the ability to turn in the tackle, keep it alive. Andy Farrell out wide. Johnson did so well. He really has equipped himself to the wing position. And the poacher supreme. What a great try.
Well, isn't he in fine form? Tony Smith, the man who left Castleford for Wigan to replace Sean Edwards, but he's now making this scrum half berth very much his own. He's stamping his own signature on it. And Andy Farrell, 3 out of 4. This time he's bang in front. 11 metres from the posts. It's 23-0, and in a second or two it'll be 25-0 if Farrell kicks this. Not a problem. St Helens 0, Wigan 25.
The angle defence was good, but you've got to be able to turn around and force him out wide. Farrell's pass, that's okay for mine. On the line, straight as a die. But what great work from Andy Johnson. This kid doesn't get all the accolades he fully deserves. And to think that this man just swooping onto that football, quite a few doubters at Central Park when he came over from Castleford. They said, why on earth have we bought that fellow? That's the reason. He's just scored a spectacular try.
Sullivan did not play that ball properly. He played it from a horizontal position, and that's why Wigan have got the penalty.
Schoolboy mistake by the winger. When your team's under a lot of pressure, you're supposed to get up and play the ball correctly. Okay, Cowie certainly was over the top, but I get the impression that Sullivan never made any attempt to rise from the ground.
So it's a penalty to Wigan, and this one is about 7 or 8 metres further forward than the one a few moments ago. About 41, 42 metres maybe. And Andy Farrell says he'll have another shot at goal here. Looks to be in the mood, Steve-O, Andy Farrell, to take every point whenever it's on offer, be it 1, 2 or 4.
Well, I was quite bitter about certain parts of the media that started to write off the Wigan Warriors. Said that they were gone, they were slipping, didn't have the class. We've seen it tonight.
We have. By their own high standards early on, they weren't up to scratch, but they were rebuilding. Transition is the word that Eric Hughes uses. Look at that. What a kick. Andy Farrell, 27-0.
Composure.
People will look at this, Steve-O, and they'll say, well, now they'll be saying, what on earth's happened to the Saints? And I'm sure that that man, Sean McRae, will be maybe asking the same question.
Well, he knows that they're quite awful at the play the ball situation. The defence isn't moving up, they're hanging back. And it doesn't matter who you play, you've got to force and build that pressure.
You saw Chris Joynt leave the field. Dean Busby has replaced him. So
Sean McRae is just trying to get someone out there that can just lift them, just do something different, because the Saints forwards are finding it very difficult to get any other thing than a one-out situation. Too many times. Well, that's a good run. Well, good play by Anderson, but again, no support.
The support's there now, Goulding, but he's taking them on his own. Better run, though, from the St Helens captain. Sullivan into the arms now of Hammond. Hammond with a diagonal kick. Robinson, Connolly rather, is after that, and he diffused the ball behind his own try line. So Wigan will restart with a trap on the 20-metre.
Good option there. Steve Prescott running towards it, but the experience there of the centre, Gary Connolly, came to the fore. He'd already dropped back.
Gail Tallick coming on for Lee Hansen. So Wigan now making the change as well. Robinson scampering away.
They do all the hard work down there. Every time there's a kick downfield, it's not the forwards that are carting the ball up. It's always the winger, the full back. Quick play the ball, speed.
Tony Smith. What a good run. Pass to Robinson. Beautiful ball to Horton. That's Radlinski. He had to reach behind him to pick it up. That's why the momentum was momentarily lost.
Quite superb play there.
Smith. Farrell. High hanging kick. Looking for Johnson. Prescott's after it. They've dropped it. No, I don't think that's a try.
Nowhere near. But what a mess they made of it. Beautiful kick by the skipper, Andy Farrell. Prescott and Sullivan, no one obviously called. It was a big collision too. Johnson near, but yet so far away.
Well, Prescott is limping. Cunningham is off the field. Joynt only back in the side is also off the field. They're putting the ball down. Andy Haig looks over his shoulder and has a bit of a go at the man who gave him the pass.
Well, the thing is, you've got to keep your eyes on the football. No good blaming the boy who's trying to keep it away. Anderson, the substitute, came out. At least he's trying to keep it alive.
Here come Wigan again. This is Farrell. Farrell's going to waltz in, and he has. Oh, well, Wigan, they've waited a long time for this, and they are going to make hay while the sun shines at Knowsley Road. No emotion on the face of the Wigan coach Eric Hughes, but believe me, inside he's popping champagne corks.
There you see the work the blind side. See how they suck Goulding back. Farrell races away. I'm afraid that was not good defence. See how Goulding, he peeled away towards Tony Smith. In for a great try. We saw Peter Gill do this from a nearer position against Saints not so long ago. And the skipper Farrell, it's a tremendous try. Well worked.
Andrew Farrell, another try, and Wigan have topped the 30-point mark. 36 minutes or thereabouts gone. There's a hush descended over Knowsley Road. The St Helens supporters can't believe what they're seeing, but they are seeing a Wigan side hell-bent on a little bit of revenge, and who are running as hot as we've seen them since their glory days. The shockwaves of this opening half-hour, Steve-O, will reverberate around Super League, hopefully right the way around the world.
Not bad for a side. This Wigan outfit, who they said were done, finished. No class, no skill. That was out of the box. That was superb play.
Well, he's been kicking well all night. He drifts it in again, but misses. 31 points to 0.
There you see, Smith pulls out Goulding, leaves the gap. The loose forward can't get anywhere near Andy Farrell. In the modern day, they do not have the fullback back. They have him in the one front line at the scrum. They expect that you will do your work and do your defence. They fail to do that. Result,
okay, guys,
try.
Wigan 31-0 ahead. Remember, they lost the cup tie. They've lost the ball now, St Helens. And this Nosey Row crowd is getting more and more frustrated as this half goes on. And there's one or two boos coming from the people who stand underneath our gantry here. Wigan are rolling forward again with Farrell. Just wanted to make the point that they lost in the cup tie here against these 12 men of St Helens Wigan. They would never have given Wembley away, obviously, but it has meant that they have had a week, an extra week, to recuperate and get their walking wounded fit at Central Park, something that Saints haven't been able to do. This is another try. This is easy. Oh, that's Johnson. The kick through was from Farrell. St Helens had left a massive gap down this right-hand side, and the ball just popped easily into the arms of Johnson, and Andy Johnson gets another.
This is quite pathetic. Look at that defence there. They have left this youngster all on his own. Stay out wide. It's a planned move. Sliding defence doesn't even slide. It just bends. That is what we class as an embarrassing try. Full credit, it was well worked, but they are just not reading anything that this Wigan outfit are throwing at them. They're mesmerised. Totally and utterly mesmerised.
35-0 it is. That was the 6th Wigan try scored by Andy Johnson, the Academy International, ever present in this Wigan side so far. And there's Lee Hansen of Wigan. Doesn't look too much wrong with him, does there? And he's pointing out to the St Helens supporters alongside him that they are featuring there on Sky Sports. Sean McRae is featuring too, but I think that picture tells its own story. Farrell with the left foot again, drifts it in. Oh, what a kick. What a kick from Andy Farrell. 37 points to nil. Wigan are ahead. It has been blistering from start to finish in this first half, and listen to Nosey Row. That's not the Wigan supporters, I'll tell you that. They're on their feet and cheering away to my left. Johnson with the 6th Wigan try. The boos are coming from the St Helens supporters, and their team are shot to pieces. The champions have been obliterated by this Wigan side who scored the first of their 6 tries after 46 seconds, and they just kept on rolling at them like a wave.
This summer, Britain takes on the world.
Alan Shearer and co are ready to go.
In sport, there is no greater honour than to represent your country.
And I don't think we should ever forget.
Brazil in the tournoi.
There's real talent in there. There's no doubt about that.
Shearer!
This summer, enjoy true world-class football.
Power, direction, goalkeeper, no chance.
Shearer's in there! And Shearer combined. England have the...
Be there.
I was admiring the fingertip controls of my Vectress CD player when... Take me to the old chemical works. I clock he's packing a piece, so I don't argue. I turn on my Vectress new navigational gizmo, the Corin.
Turn right.
It says. My ABS cuts in when I see some cops. And while he eats carpet, I change the route. This is a shortcut, I tell him. But not to where he wants to go.
found it.
The biggest new releases are always in Woolworths.
When you love someone, you've got to trust them. There's no other way. You've got to give them the key to everything that's yours.
The first time I ever saw you guys together, I never saw him so happy.
I'm a working girl, right? You don't think I'm going to go into a situation like this if I don't think I'm going to get covered on the back end?
I fell in love right there. But in Vegas, love costs money.
Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone. Casino, coming soon to the movie channel.
After their defeat in the one-day series, the Aussies are preparing for the first test. See all three of their match against Derbyshire live only on Sky Sports as part of Britain versus the World Summer of Sport. St Helens against Wigan in Super League here at Knowsley Road. We're live and exclusive, and if you're a St Helens supporter, just turn away from the screen now. St Helens 0, Wigan Warriors 37. Robinson and Smith with 2 apiece, Farrell and Johnson. Farrell's kicked 6 goals and he's landed a drop goal, and Wigan Warriors are in awesome mood. St Helens, they simply haven't been able to get going. I suppose in soccer terms it's a little bit like that Newcastle-Manchester United game earlier on in the season when United went as champions and were well and truly walloped at St James's Park. But this match has still got 40 minutes still to run. It's almost like a 6-0 now. Matthew Elliott is the coach of the Bradford Bulls. He's the only man in Knowsley Road smiling. Well, Steve-O and I are smiling, we try to anyway, but Matthew, that's a tremendous half for you.
They'll be cutting Bomber down from the ceiling, I think, at half-time. I really don't think St Helens are playing that poorly, just Wigan are white hot. I think Bomber's got to have a look at the team sheets to make sure there's only 13 Wigan players out there. They're everywhere.
Bomber is Sean McRae, is it?
Yes.
All right. I'm not party to nicknames like that, but so you would think that he will not be a happy man at the moment?
Well, I don't know what he can do. He could request that the referee remove the tarantulas from Jason Robinson and the rattlesnakes from Tony Smith, because no one seems to want to go near him. But all he can say is just they've got 40 minutes to restore some pride.
Well, and restore some pride as champions. Can I just remind you, you've got to face Wigan at Odstall yet?
Yeah, I'm going to be checking the water.
But they are in this mood, Steve-O. They are awesome. It means it's like going back to the good old days for them.
Well, it is. They were just devastating, but they were helped along by some very, very feeble defence by St Helens. And you call him Bomber, well, they'll have plenty to say. Let's just hold it there. And you can see how that Smith has come around on the blind side, and you've got to work hard into the situation. You can't just let people run like this. Hanging off, look at this. There were 3 men there. Let's have a little bit of a patty cake on him. They got it nowhere near, back on the inside. I mean, the man is just absolutely brilliant when you allow him to do things like that. And again, we see Smith in the second situation just run away. Look at that, they hang. But what on earth was Pickavance doing there? That's called lazy defence. Pickavance is not a sweeper, but he found himself in that position, and it wasn't the best one. But then again, Cassidy, it's not the best dummy in the world. He just rolls the ball across and then just shows it to him. Cunningham can't get anywhere near. Pickavance, well, I'm afraid he's having a good game going forward, but not the same, I'm afraid, can be said about his defence. Wright did well here. He knew he didn't have the pace, so he just committed the fullback Prescott. And Robinson again having the time of his life. Look at this here. Now this is a beautiful kick across the corner. A lot of people thought it was the long pass from Farrell was forward, but it was straight as a die. And Tony Smith, well, he's everywhere. He's having the time of his life, as I mentioned. Tremendous kick by Andy Johnson, who is the most underrated winger. Normally a second rower, but Johnson's fitted into that position extremely well. And then probably the best of them all. Just look at that. Throws the dummy. Goulding goes with Tony Smith. Look at the pace by Andy Farrell. We mentioned before the game that the Wigan skipper was in fine form. Well, I can assure you he is showing that form in that first 40 minutes. And then the Johnson try. Well, this is a nightmare for a coach. Hello. I thought I'd just pop up whilst I was doing some shopping and score probably what was the simplest of tries. That is a nightmare for a coach. And Matthew Elliott, he calls him the Bomber. Well, it'll be explosive at half-time. They just cannot allow Wigan to run riot like that. You must get into this, a saying now, get into your face. They're just hanging back. You can't do that against Wigan.
You get the feeling that there's something gone drastically wrong here at Nosey Road over the past month. I suppose, Matthew, if we talk about the post-Wembley blues, in Super League it's a new phenomenon because, of course, Wembley came once upon a time at the end of the season. Everyone could go off and enjoy their holidays. Now, if you celebrate too much, you might catch for this.
Yeah, but I don't think you can attribute Wembley and the post-Wembley blues to this. I just think they struck, you know, Wigan. They're not red hot; they're white hot today, and they're just everywhere. And they're key players. The whole team was just working so hard together that, you know, I'd suspect that even if they had their best team out today, St Helens, you know, the scoreline may have not have been as drastic, but it certainly would have been, you know, quite substantial.
Steve, we've got a pen, or I've got a pen in my hand. Do you think I should go and give it to David Howes, the chief executive at Nosey Road? Because surely he's got to get the pen and he's got to get the checkbook out, hasn't he?
Well, surely he's not going to sign you, Eddie. Well, I hope not. Anyway,
I wouldn't think so.
I know they're desperate.
He might want a new mascot.
The thing is that we talk about digging deep, and you talk about Wembley situation. Bradford lost at Wembley, but they came back. They bounced back. It's all about digging deep, helping, working as a team, and I'm afraid St Helens did not. They did not click as a team, and they looked like a team that didn't want to know each other. You've got to work together to win.
Well, they are working together, certainly, in the Wigan camp, and the man of the match, I'm sure, might well have already made himself known to you. There's a telephone number for you to ring during the course of the second half, and if you name the man of the match correctly and your name comes out of our computer, you can take home a mini television set tonight. We'll tell you when, during the course of the second half, to ring that telephone number. Well, what do you say about Wigan? The only word you can say about them is that they are in magnificent form. They lead here by 37 points to nil. That is, let me remind you, just about a point a minute. And how are they going to cope in the second half, the Saints? Well, they are playing for pride. Stay with us to see how they do.
T-minus 31 seconds and counting. We're go for auto sequence start.
Onboard computers online.
T-minus 6 seconds. We have main engine start.
We're go for launch.
Advice from the legendary Buzz Aldrin.
Only a handful of people have ever seen that.
Man is in position. Main engine cut off on schedule.
A brand new series, The Cape, starting with a movie-length episode, Sunday at 8 on Sky One.
www.what? Look. The logo's rotating. That is very cool. I like that. Yeah.
You guys do this all day?
No, not all day. Just most of the day.
Wow, that is very cool. What is that?
The logo's on fire.
Why is the logo on fire?
It's a flaming logo. Yeah. We're checking out different business websites. We're trying to determine our website strategy.
Website strategy, huh?
Yeah.
You ever think about using this to sell something?
IBM helps business websites do business.
I'll take that blue jacket. And those gloves,
Shall
too.
I put that on your American Express card,
That'll
sir?
be £25.
On your card, sir. Okay, that's the camera. Would you like any film with that?
Virtually every pound you spend on the card can earn you reward points. You can use them for hotels, flights, cinema tickets, even a trip for the kids. The American Express Membership Rewards Program is just another way we can help you do more.
10,000 feet up. This is the roof of Europe. After being shown what the Alps have to offer, it's my turn.
We all know how seriously the French take their food, but you can't go wrong with Uncle Ben's new gratin sauces. Just slice some potatoes, pour on the sauce and pop it in the oven. Voila, delicious potato gratin.
Uncle Ben's gratin sauces, perfect every time.
This'll knock them out.
Listerine kills more harmful bacteria than brushing alone, giving you healthier teeth and gums.
These are rock solid.
Bad news for tooth fairies.
Slip this up your nose and you'll be surprised how quickly your hay fever symptoms can disappear.
Rhino last hay fever. Ready to control symptoms in 15 minutes. Lasts for hours.
QuickFit's amazing 10-day price blitz is on now. Get down to your local QuickFit centre for big savings on a whole range of tyres and exhausts. But hurry, offers must end 31st of May.
Unlike some wood stains, Cuprinol's 5-year wood stain lasts 5 whole years. Guaranteed. Cuprinol. No one does wood more good.
This summer, Britain takes on the world.
The challenge in 17 years.
A pride of Lions is no match for the world champions.
The tour continues Wednesday afternoon at 2 on Sky Sports 1.
This summer, Britain takes on the world, featuring the British Lions Tour of South Africa. On Sky Sports, you won't miss a thing.
As part of Britain versus the world on Sky this summer, the Aussies and New Zealanders are coming to take on Britain's best in the first ever World Club Championship. The opening game on Sky Sports 1, St Helens versus Auckland Warriors, Friday, June the 6th. That's a week on Friday, and we will be here with them. But right now, the Saints have got a little bit more on their plate against Wigan. Half-time situation at Knowsley Road, 37-0 to Wigan Warriors, who have been absolutely breathtaking in that first half. And as they have been breathtaking, it must be said the champions have looked a shadow of the team that swept to the inaugural title last year. Not really too much to choose in those set of statistics, but the glaring score at the top really does say it all. 37 points to nil. This is maybe where we will see the big difference, and clean breaks 7 to 11 in Wigan's favour. The missed tackles 12 to 8, and the handling errors 9 to 3. Offloads as well, Wigan 16 to 4. And every time they get the ball, Wigan, they really do roll their way forward, don't they? Second half, St Helens now as champions playing for pride, and to try and get some of these supporters of theirs back on side, because believe me, the St Helens fans that we bumped into during the half-time interval, they are not happy about what they have seen, and that, I think, is the understatement of Super League 2. O'Neill taking the tackle. Anderson was the dummy half. And here is Perolini. Credit Perolini, he's been playing with the leg problem, which has got the strapping on it, and shoulder problems also. Pickavance. No doubt Sean McRae has told his men to go out and play for their names, play for their clubs, and in some cases, who knows, Steve-O, play for their futures.
Well, it's got to be on the line. There's some players out there that are not performing well, but that's what better. Good work by Sullivan. He's showing the enthusiasm that's needed. Good work from the second marker in the previous tackle, and that offside.
Offside against Saints.
Well, all that hard work, and it's wasted by just a lack of composure. There's a few to pick from there. Julian O'Neill, the substitute, Paul Anderson.
Later score coming in, and after 25 minutes of the second half, a real dogfight. Paris 16, London 16 at the Charlotte Stadium. Remember, Paris won that corresponding fixture last year. It was a result that kept them in Super League.
Pretty high there. Swinging arm from Perolini.
Farrell with the drive in.
To be fair, it was Horton who was going down.
Here now is Tony Smith, and this is Nigel Wright. Rushes away from Morley, gets the pass away to Connolly. Connolly attacking up the middle. Penalty though, he's got him for the high tackle, I think.
He played the advantage. Connolly had to score. It was always going to be odds on that Steve Presley did not miss this one. Far too high there by Chris Morley. Playing loose forward tonight. And even though Wright got it away, it was great refereeing by Steve Presley to ensure an advantage. And it looked for all the world there. It had to be some good defence by Pickavance and Perolini to bring him down. But you can see it's right over the top of the shoulder by Morley. Frustration definitely running through that man's veins.
Chris Morley, the Welsh international. Well done to Steve Presley. He allowed Wigan the advantage. No advantage forthcoming. That's why Andrew Farrell now has this attempt with his 9th shot at goal. Could be another 2 points on the way here to the Wigan total.
Well, it was a fine performance, wasn't it, by Wigan in that first half, but it's very rare coming from me, but I also have to applaud the whistleblower in that first 40 minutes. Steve Presley did a fine job, let the advantage run, let the game flow, and at 37-0 you could see that he was quite successful.
So Farrell with this penalty, and Farrell with 2 more points. 39-0 now, and believe me, this is hurting for St Helens and their supporters.
Well, the fans often talk about it, don't they? It doesn't matter if they don't win any game throughout the season, as long as they beat their rival. The St Helens Wigan clashes are normally a real ding-dong battle. I'm not saying that this won't be. There's plenty of time, but it looks a pretty steep mountain to climb for Saints.
Sure does. St Helens, though, in possession with O'Neill. Takes the tackle from Smith and Hall. Goulding helps it on then to Hammond. They're certainly missing Tommy Martin, and they will have to cope without him for the rest of the season. That's a better run, though, from Anderson. And he gets the ball away to Sullivan. Desperate defence there from Farrell.
Great work there by Paul Anderson.
High hanging kick again from Goulding. Prescott's after it. Pats the ball down to Cowie. Cowie releases Henry Paul. And away goes Henry Paul. He's got Robinson with him. Robinson's there, and will Robinson get over for the hat-trick? He will. From one end of the field to the other. Jason Robinson gets the hat-trick, and now he's on the threshold of his milestone. He needs just one more for the ton for Wigan, and he might well get it. Robinson's hat-trick.
Devastating, this. Good work by Cowie. He could quite easily have said, we'll take possession, but he offloaded. Dynamic in the first 40 minutes, the way that they supported their ball carrier, and it came up again. You knew it was always going to be on. Henry Paul not back to his 100% fitness yet. Lost a little bit of speed with the layoff, but great work there. Good step. And again, we see the Saints defense just clawing rather than making contact. Neat little step, just committed the defense, the cover defense. This is it. See how he made sure that Prescott had to go for him with that little step. Look at the determination. Look at the muscles rippling on those legs. I want 3. He's got them. Tremendous stuff.
First hat-trick since last August, when he ran in 5 to equal the Super League record against Leeds. Farrell with his 10th shot at goal, and the Wigan captain has an 80% success record with the boot tonight, and Wigan have 45 points. This is an annihilation.
There's 3 defenders, and what do? Miss him. That's what they do. Tries to get into top gear. Watch his step here. Step and swerve, come into the full back. Robinson, oh, well and truly, well, it's just not the Saints' day. It all the time in the world.
Oh,
and any youngster watching that, you'll notice that Andy Haig failed to lift up the arms.
And that statistic says it all.
Well, his arms were down. The breadbasket job. You've got to go up and reach for the football and bring it into your body safely. He failed to do that.
Cowie drives it straight at Anderson. What a good, strong run from Neil Cowie. Hall to Smith. They want more. Wigan, they're going to be relentless. This is Farrell. Farrell is just hauled back short of the line.
Watch for the switch, or is it going to be a kick from Smith?
Smith has it. There's the kick out to the far side again. Radlinski's after it. Sullivan's got it, though. That's good play, though, from Radlinski. Forces the man into the in-goal area. That's going to be a St Helens drop out from underneath their own sticks.
Well, Sullivan wasn't going to be caught out on that occasion. Good position there by the winger. It had to be 2. But what a great kick and what a great chase.
They are relentless, Wigan.
We made it quite obvious that Tony Smith was having the time of his life. He really has settled in well at the Central Park boys.
Henry Paul takes the tackle from Busby. This is Gail Talek, the French international. Steve-O, these pictures will be seen this evening all around the world, and the message to Australia is Wigan are back and they want that World Club Challenge. I don't think there's any doubt about that now whatsoever.
They want a repeat performance, didn't they? Remember the Brisbane Broncos over in Brisbane.
94, how can we ever forget it?
Brisbane were odds on, that's a knock on.
Yes, Talek.
Saying he was interfered with. The Brisbane outfit, so there was no one near him. And I'm afraid the Frenchman lost control there. And of course Brisbane going to the World Club Challenge. The bookies have made them strong favourites.
Well, it'd be very nice to see people take some money from the bookmakers.
You mean you're going to outlay money?
I'll outlay money that the World Club Championship will start on June the 6th, and you will enjoy just about every minute that we can possibly bring to you here on Sky Sports. How's that?
Thunderstorms permitting, of course.
You'll enjoy it no matter what the weather.
Can't wait.
Anderson of St Helens plays the ball to Perolini, and Hammond. High kick. Prescott's after it. Henry Paul was safe as houses.
Not only that, but did you see how the Wigan captain Andy Farrell came back and defended the catcher? There's Paul taking the football, but I can see Andy Farrell and Robinson came and helped, gave him the opportunity. Over enthusiastic there, not standing square at the play the ball.
Perolini has gone off to be replaced by Andy Leatham. Andy Leatham coming on for his only his second appearance this year. But at least the Saints will welcome him back. They've also brought Andy Haig off as well. And Kevin O'Loughlin comes on. Well, I think now with a 45-0 scoreline against him, Sean McRae is surely just trying here to make sure there are no more walking wounded before the end of tonight's match. Talek gets the pass away to Cowie. Brilliant. Wigan have loaded up down this left-hand side. Horton! That's magnificent play. Absolutely magnificent from Wigan. How they kept the ball alive then in impossible situations. And Horton screams down the lens of our cameras and the message goes out. Wigan are back. And look out, Australia, they're on the way.
Work as a team again. We see Smith come from the open to the blind. Once they suck in the defence, they twist in the tackle. Smith again, never say die, kept this ball alive. Beautiful play. Cowie. Oh, this is sensational stuff. Right, and you see how Paul, the fullback, chimed in right at this precise moment. Good work by Talek. The Frenchman kept it alive. Oh, this is sheer skill. Paul injected himself into the three-quarter line, and this man's strength, how many times have we seen that this season? Keep the ball alive, mesmerise the defence. 2 go for 1. Talek gets it away. Cowie does well again. Hall. But notice how the chiming of the fullback, the big second rower. Beautiful stuff. This man is dynamite. You can't afford to go high. Is he happy or is he happy?
Enjoy the moment, Simon Horton, didn't he? His 50th consecutive appearance for Wigan, and he crowns it with that try. Farrell, oh, he's on fire, Andy Farrell with the boot. 51 points to 0.
There you see all the defence is sucked in. There's 3 out wide. They're going backwards. There was only going to be one thing from here. Once this was released, watch for Paul. Look how he injected himself in there. Outstanding.
I think St Helens will want this match to end a little bit quickly, but if you look at the score there in the corner, they've still got something like 27 minutes to go, and the St Helens fans are on their way home. Some of them have seen enough. It's been agony. And Wigan are still almost at a point a minute. And I rather fancy that there's more on the way. I think the message from Eric Hughes would have been, Steve-O, at half-time, show no mercy.
Enjoy your football, that's what they did in the first 40. Repeat of the same.
Look at
the
this.
Skills here. Takes it, see how it's spinning. He just is one superb footballer. So is his brother. And so is this Wigan outfit. Sheer skill. No smile yet. But inside, he'll have a big grin. Oh, it's a swinging arm. Well, that is not called for by Hammond. Let's hope that Saints do not lose their composure. We want to see some fine football. We do not want to turn this into a fisticuff affair.
Cowie gets Wigan over the halfway line. Paul, just Grubber kicks it. Henry Paul is after it. Prescott is across there, though.
Good refereeing there by Steve Presley. The chaser was in front. You had to give him the 10. Nice to see referees call out to the players. Oh! Big hit time.
Talick on Matautia. The earth move then.
Bit high there from Cassidy.
This is O'Loughlin. Look at Wigan, you think they were 51-50 the way they're piling into the tackling here. Never mind 51-0 up.
Tony Smith has just done one tackle. He gets into the second mark and does another one.
Matautia. Connolly has had a right night up against Matautia.
In a strong battle, not many opportunities. Saints have been rare to get that ball out wide. It was a big hit. He'll stand his ground. We mentioned at half-time about getting your face into the opposition, and I think Farrell, that was a silly little hit there by Farrell. Well, it's getting spoiling tactics now.
Anderson takes the quick tap penalty. So St Helens, if they get over for a try here, they will get the biggest cheer of the night from their supporters. Wigan will not want to let them breach their line. This is Busby, 20 metres short of the Wigan try line. The runner is Leatham. Andy Leatham gets the try! And I told you to draw the biggest cheer of the night from the St Helens supporters. Sean McRae just folds the arms and has a resigned look. His first try of the year for young Leatham.
And it was a good one as well. You could see that on this occasion it was the Wigan defence failed to move forward. And they were caught. And once this guy got up the steam, he was going to make sure he was going to get that try. That was good work by Andy Leatham. Neat little step at the end as well. Here he comes. Wigan hold back. Neat little step there. Paul not up to it. Neither is Hall. That is a fine try.
Well, Andy Leatham getting the try. Went on the, or rather was named on the academy tour, but he had to withdraw injured. And the St Helens faithful celebrate their first try. The only trouble is Wigan have got 51 points.
Well, the crowd are calling they are the champions, and they are.
That was a reckless pass back by Cowie. Oh! Great chase again by Leatham, and Paul just hammered the ball dead.
Cowie did well to keep it alive, and but it went to nobody. And Robinson was screaming for this football out wide. I suppose at 51-6 you could take that risk.
Why didn't Cowie just take the tackle? Well, Andy Leatham at the moment is all over this field.
Well, he is, but it was surprising there to see Henry Paul. Why did he kick it and run the risk? He could have just taken it over the in-goal line.
Sullivan. Well, don't tell me that the Saints are starting to play with 56 minutes of the match gone. Busby plays the ball. This now is Julian O'Neill. Julian O'Neill, one of the few St Helens players, certainly in the forwards.
There'll be a penalty, interference, quick tap.
Just a point about O'Neill to be ever present in this side, and that's a relief for Sean McRae, I'm sure.
Well, surely they're not going for goal.
No, the referee's just ticking Andy Farrell off and issuing a team warning.
And rightly so as well. He wants to see this game go the full distance with skills on show.
Andy Farrell, he's lost that ball. It just makes me smile. Andy Farrell takes the ticking up from the referee, and it's all innocence. It's all quiet boy innocence. That was stolen.
Should have been a penalty.
It should have been.
2 on 1 man. How on earth has he missed that?
Here's Farrell again, but he takes the ticking up from the referee, and it's quiet boy innocent. He turns round and he screams to his players, passing on the message from the referee.
Well, he's hardly going to scowl at the merry whistleblower, is he? Yes, no, sir, 3 backs full, sir. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you were exactly the same, weren't you?
Were you born those days?
No, my grandfather told me all about you.
Well, it's getting very scrappy, this. Referee Steve Presley has to keep a tight hold on the situation. I'm sure there's quite a few scores to be settled yet in this match. Let's hope they do it with skill rather than anything else.
Well, exactly. Sullivan, that's a good run. Well, amazing. At 51-0, St Helens have suddenly started to run with the sort of vim and vigour we expect. Oh, Connolly on Matautia. How about that for a battle royal tonight?
Touch judge on.
Oh, Connolly will be black and blue in the morning. And he'll also have a sore neck.
Well, Matautia carrying the football, went straight into Connolly's jaw. I think this will be a penalty for Wigan. Watch the arm. Oh. That was a bad one. And rightly so, getting a ticking off from Presley. Well spotted by the touch judge. It's always nice to see that the officials work as a unit. And you see the action from Presley.
14 tackles from Gary Connolly, and I think about 12 of them have been on the man mountain Matautia.
Stuck to him like a leech, didn't he?
And it's been a real collision every time those two have been there, and Connolly has taken some fierce stick, he really has. But he's stuck to him like glue, and he's not shirked the battle once. He is right. He's looked over the shoulder to pop the ball up.
Good play by Hammond there. The ball was going to come back on the inside. Hammond spotted it, snuffed it out.
Here's Talek.
Now then, watch for Farrell bringing the ball back on the inside to Cassidy, perhaps.
This is Tony Smith. Tony Smith. That's well done by Goulding.
Got in amongst them. Quick play of the ball. Tremendous defence, though. Look at that. Oh, swinging arm. Silly play by Andy Farrell. What on earth does he want to do a thing like that? He gets away with it, though. Well, all that skill that we've seen from this Wigan outfit now, don't tell me they're saying, but at 51-6, oh, what on earth is happening? Cowie flings one in. We know you're a great side, Wigan. Don't try to prove to us that you're tough as well. Everyone's tough in Super League. But don't do it with foul tactics. Bang! Oh.
Meanwhile, this is Matautia again. He's got past Connolly this time. He feeds Sullivan, and Gay gets another try. Sullivan with the try. He maintains his scoring ratio, and Sean McRae is on the pole. Anthony Sullivan, the Welsh international, his 6th try of the season in Super League.
Good work by Hammond, neat chip over the top. Matautia did so well. So did Morley to get that ball out wide. You can see there Connolly went far too high. Good finish by Sullivan, one of the best in the game. Chip over. Well, they're devoid of ideas in that first 40 minutes, but not now. It's amazing what a try can do to you.
And put that down to Leatham. He led the way, and Sullivan will take the pass. Neat little thing there. You can see that a high one there by Connolly. Well, they have just lost the plot, Wigan. They feel they've got the game wrapped up, and I have to agree with them. But now they want to prove to the world that we can beat them with football. Let's show them how we can belt them.
Goulding with the conversion attempt. That's a great kick from Bobby Goulding. Doesn't draw too much in the way of reaction from his coach, but at 12:51, I don't suppose there's much reaction left for Sean McRae, not publicly anyway.
Well, at least he would be pleased by that effort. He really are getting himself involved. They're showing real effort there. Well, they're eager, they're up for it.
Who's your man of the match? Candidates all over the field in blue and white, I venture to suggest. Your calls are invited now.
Hammond stealing the ball with another player in attention. There's Hammond. And Hammond thought that he'd got the ball away before O'Neill made contact. Probably has a point too. Well, surely Eric Hughes, the Wigan, God, you can see how he got it away before O'Neill came to him. But Eric Hughes, the Wigan coach, has got to send them out and say, listen, think of the composure. You were so effective the first half. Don't get sucked into this silly thing. There's a lot of talk going on out there. Just point to the scoreboard. Don't retaliate. 51 points is enough to hurt any team.
Well, Farrell didn't play that ball properly either. Right, tried to chip them over the top. Referee will pull them back for the knock-on.
Couldn't take it in. Had the chance. The man played the ball. See, Busby had a go at it. Finished up with a knock-on. Now, if the ball plays the man, can't help it. That would have been play on, that'd have been okay, but you could see clearly that Busby made a pass for that one.
Radlinski. Good tackle by Prescott. Helped out there also by O'Loughlin. Here now is Connolly. Radlinski. Talek. Through a gap. Eventually, he's brought to ground. Play the ball, says the referee. Lee Hansen. Big, strong Tongan. Attracts three men to him, O'Neill and Prescott.
Farrell and Cassidy.
There's Farrell. Farrell wants, Radlinski wants it out wide, and the referee has cut them for the forward pass.
I think there's little doubt about that one. Forget about the crowd. There's the line, and that's where it finishes up. Good positioning by Presley, though. Well, it was Farrell's pass in the first half that set Andy Johnson away, that resulted in a magnificent try. Couldn't do it on that occasion.
Kevin O'Loughlin, that's a good run from him. Bravery from O'Loughlin, 20-year-old academy tourist. Busby. Anderson dummy half, Goulding. Off it goes out wider to Morley. Tackled by Farrell and Wright. Leatham.
That was close.
Good run. Well, we're back with you tomorrow evening. Halifax against Bradford, Tuesday at 7:30 at Thrum Hall. Halifax Blue Sox improving under John Pendlebury, and Matthew Elliott's Bradford Bulls unbeaten with a 100% record at the top of the table. And Wigan and company are all waiting for the Bradford Bulls to slip.
Well, there's a kick. And even though it came off a Wigan player, it was again an occasion where the ball actually played the man. So this should be a head and feed to the Warriors, and it is.
This is Nigel Wright, and now Henry Paul gets away from O'Loughlin. Can't get away from Hammond, though. Well, I'm sure that Matthew Elliott, the Bradford Bulls coach, is enjoying his evening off. He's watching from our studio here, watching as Robinson goes on a typical run from him. Matthew, it's all down to the Bulls now tomorrow.
Well, hopefully we can come out with a performance like Wigan have come out with here. Certainly, if you could play like that week in, week out, you'd I'd be prepared to say we'll take the championship out. But obviously form runs hot and cold, and at the moment Wigan is hot.
They are hot, and St Helens have come back into it since Wigan went 51-0 up, haven't they? At least they've shown a bit of determination.
It's amazing, you know. You'd like to think that if you scored 12 points in the second half, oh my God, here we go.
Yes, you do, and it's Simon Horton who gets his second try. He loves scoring tries. Simon Horton does all the work in defence that his coach could possibly ask for, but when he chimes into the line, Simon Horton is devastating going forward. 9 tries now in 97.
Unbelievable play again, keeping the ball alive. Horton, bang, get away. Hammond went far too high. You can't go high on this guy. He's dynamite. Oh, he's happy. Well, the way that he's playing, he'd be in the Great Britain squad for mine. Any team in the world, in fact. Devastating speed off the mark, but the strength, the upper body strength is quite remarkable. If you don't go low, you have no chance at all. Hammond went high, get out of the way. First gear into second, third and fourth, overdrive. He knows he's there. Takes the cheer. What a remarkable athlete.
Simon Horton, a great try. And immediately he is withdrawn. And Stuart Lester, the back row forward, junior Kiwi, comes on to replace him. Now this is an important kick for Andrew Farrell from a personal point of view. 10 is his previous best in Super League. If this sails over, it equals his previous best in the competition. A personal milestone then here for Farrell, maybe. Not with kicking like that. 55-12. Little doubt about the result.
Well, there was a period of play where even Wigan were just losing the plot somewhat. Getting irritated and being sucked into the forward game. A little bit of niggling going on out there. But they have bounced back with a quite superb try.
2 changes, Wright and Horton. Leicester and Cardis come on. Just to play out the last 10 minutes of the match. You can't blame the coaches. Robust run from Pickavance again. Gets the ball away to Anderson. I must say Steve Anderson, and Cassidy's gone off as well. Has he to be replaced by Stephen Holgate? I must say the substitutes for St Helens, Steve Anderson and Leatham and O'Loughlin and Busby, they've done okay.
They've injected a little bit of life that was missing in that first 40 minutes. And that's exactly what Sean McRae, the coach, wanted. He always keeps saying that perhaps there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It was very shady and very grey in the first 40 minutes, but he'll have something to build upon.
Inventive play again from Anderson, but it was well watched by Andy Johnson.
This is where Wigan are so good.
Full-time score from the Charlotte. London have won 20 points to 16. Bearing in mind the point that Castleford got earlier and Oldham's victory, that's not the best night for Parish then. This is Robinson, tackled by Matautia. You can vote now with your man of the match nominations, 0891 66 55 25. The lines are open for about another 8 minutes or so. Get your vote in. Busby penalised for not getting out of the way to play the ball.
No good complaining once you've made the attempt, even though Hall helped him along, but you've got to roll away from the area where the ball is being played. Calming things down is the referee Steve Presley.
So Wigan will come again. Well, Nigel Wright had an excellent evening. In fact, ever since he's come back into the side, he's looked pretty sharp and happily fully fit again, and he's got enough breath to talk to Alistair Mann.
Nigel, it must have been an incredible place to be.
Connolly will get another try for Wigan. We'll get to Nigel Wright shortly. He will have enjoyed that. But Connolly It has been a battle and a half between him and Matautia, and now Connolly gets the try.
It's a move that Farrell does to perfection. Throws the dummy back on the inside. You can see how Hammond had drifted across in the sliding defence. And this guy is all speed, all class, and all finesse. It was a wonderful effort. Watch for Hammond sneaking across, back on the inside. The gap was there. They failed to close in. The arc run. Little skip at the end. Superb skills.
Connolly with the try then. And he is the leading scorer for 1997 for Wigan with 9 tries now. Big effort from him. And Andy Farrell here with the opportunity to hit that personal milestone now. Level up his own personal record. It was 10 here in 1995 in Super League. Now then, let's get back to hear from Nigel Wright.
Well, Nigel, your team keep interrupting us when we're trying to have a chat here. It's incredible to be out there in a performance like this.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the lads have played really well today. We come here to do a job, and that's what we've done. You know, we're just so pleasing to beat Saints on their own bidding. You know, and we're happy with it. And your recovery is going better and better, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. You know, a bit of a quiet game today. I've been carrying 1 or 2 knocks from last week, so you know. But the way we've played today, 1 or 2 lads have played even better. So. You know, it's been a team effort, and every one of us have done his own bit.
Well, all the best to you in your recovery.
Terry O'Connor, thanks.
61-12, 10 tries for Wigan, 10 goals now for Andrew Farrell. And this is Wigan's best score against St Helens. And this competition between these two clubs goes back well over 100 years. It has been one of those Wigan nights.
A total drubbing.
The best victory against St Helens in the history of these monumental local derbies.
It certainly will hurt. It's a way that they've just been cut apart by the superb attacking qualities of Wigan. But they've played as a team, as Nigel Wright mentioned, on the sideline. Very pleased with the way that the team have worked hard for each other. When you share the workload, it always helps. Good kick by Hammond on this occasion. But they've had to take second best tonight. The defence wasn't all that brilliant in that first half. It's tightened somewhat. It's the sheer pace and the skill of Wigan now that are moving this Saints defence around and creating the half break, half chance. And Wigan, they turn it into tries.
61 points to 12, 4.5 minutes left for play. The best ever victory by Wigan over their local rivals.
Well, Hammond had a second shot at that. He should have been pinned for the first one. He wasn't. So Hammond said, well, I'll test my luck. I'll go in for a second bite at the cherry, or whatever you want to call Talik's nose. Didn't miss either. Frustration showing yet again. That's the first one. Come back and have another one. Oh, we can do without that, really.
Hansen. Oh! Like a bowling ball going through the 10 pins. Holgate. Well, they all want to get on the act, don't they?
Look how quick they play the football.
Even so late in the game. Radlinski to Farrell. Oh, what a run from Farrell, and what a try from Radlinski. Sensational stuff from Wigan. Remember, they scored their first try after just 46 seconds. Here we are now, late in the game, and they're still running with enough strength to get more scores.
What a game this man is having. You talk about leading by example when you're the skipper. See how he threw the dummy. Hammond again, tried to trip him, but couldn't get to him in the end. Well, Radlinski, the centre, finishes it off. Captain Marvel, no doubt about that. They had a well-beaten side. You could see that Hammond rather stupidly tried to trip the big loose forward. Radlinski, that is a great try. Downward pressure On this occasion they moved through, but look how they run the angles well. Superb rugby league football. High skill factor. Working for each other, bringing it back on the angle. Radlinski will enjoy that.
So Radlinski's try, and Andy Farrell now with the opportunity to equal the Super League record for goal kicking. I said earlier he'd reached his own personal milestone with 10. 3 others have got to the 11 mark in Super League, and they stay on their own because Farrell misses. Mattison, Goulding and John Schuster, the names. Andy Farrell with 10 right behind them. He could have set a new mark for goal kicking in Super League this evening, but just missed with a couple of efforts. 65 points to 12.
And I reckon they're eager for more. They're going for the short kick-off. They want more points.
Leatham does well.
Did he ever? Under a lot of heavy traffic there. Well, there's been plenty of stars out there, but one guy we've barely mentioned, mainly due to the fact he's gone around and done his business, done the job. Forward pass. And I refer to the Wigan hooker, Martin Hall. All he's done is just control the dummy half situation, but he hasn't made a mess. He's just quickly got behind them, give them a good service.
Well, Wigan want more. And they might have got more had Connolly been able to keep hold of that ball.
I think it was a bit forward, though.
He's given the knock on, though. Look at Connolly, the scars of battle.
I think that was just a touch forward from Tony Smith, but they're always looking for that opportunity. As I mentioned, they were eager for it. A lot of teams would have just relaxed with only a couple of minutes remaining, but they went for the short kick-off. And look at the tackling, they're still eager.
They are. We're in the last 30 seconds of the match, and everyone's being encouraged to really get stuck in, and Wigan most certainly are, but then a little bit over enthusiastic, Talek and Hansen. But it's been a thoroughly professional destruction of this St Helens side by this Wigan team. And the crowd from Central Park who've travelled over here are counting down to the full-time siren. There is the siren. It will end after this movement breaks down. That's it. Farrell fittingly getting the last tackle in on Anderson. And Wigan have come up with an excellent victory here. Gary Connolly wiped the blood from his face and his mouth because, believe me, he has been involved in a right ding-dong with Vila Matautia. But Bobby Goulding goes off to lick his wounds. Gary Connolly will no doubt enjoy the moment, having coming back here to Knowsley Road where he played for so long, and coming up with the best win in the history of these clashes between the Saints and Wigan Warriors. Wigan most certainly are bang on song, and their supporters know that they carry the banner for Great Britain into that World Club Challenge. Here's another happy man. Eric Hughes, Wigan coach, with Alistair.
Eric, congratulations. Can you quite believe the manner in which you've won this evening?
No, obviously, to come here and win so convincingly is really impressive. Delighted for everyone out at the club, particularly the players who got a little bit of stick early on when we had 1 or 2 injury problems and before we started to rebuild. But, as I say, particularly pleased for them, with all those the travelling supporters, and we've had a lot of politics at the club. And what we've got on today is it's about rugby football, and we do that quite well, and the lads, I'm so pleased for them.
People talk about intensity. How do you manage to get their level so high tonight?
I think really it was probably the easiest part of the preparation. We knew it was such a big game for us. We knew it's always keen, Wigan and St Helens, and the players really needed no lifting whatsoever. They wanted to atone for the cup exit, and I think we did that with a little bit of pride.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a big night for Eric Hughes personally and for Wigan, and Eric Hughes is certainly the master of the understatement. Tonight was all about rugby football, and we do that quite well. They do it very well on the evidence of the 80 minutes that we have seen. They have completely hammered the champions. 65 points to 12. We have plenty to look back on when we return, and also, of course, we announce the Man of the Match award. Join us after the break.
This summer, enjoy true world-class football.
Power, direction, goalkeeper, no chance. Shearer's in there! And Shearer combine. England have the break.
Des.
It's okay. He won't be up for hours.
Dad! Mom!
Don't worry. I'll go and get him.
Peugeot, the drive of your life.
As a psychiatrist myself, I find Frasier compulsive viewing. Here we have a typical dysfunctional family unit. The dad is the child, Frasier is the dad, the dog, who is a kind of senile grandma figure, and the brother is the visiting uncle. That's wrong. Sorry. Oh, sorry, my mistake. There is no senile grandma. Stop it. The dad is the uncle. Frasier is the dad. No. The dog's the dad. It's not possible. How can the dog be the dad?
Paramount Comedy Channel. Friday night, every night.
Do you know you can put your hair at risk every time you wash it? Surprised? Hair is most fragile when it's wet. Just combing can break it. Pantene Pro V can help. It actually makes hair stronger, so it breaks less. Provitamin B5 nourishes at the root and penetrates all the way to the tip. Pantene gives hair a healthy-looking shine and makes it stronger. Pantene Pro V, for hair that looks so healthy it shines. Stronger hair breaks less.
Why worry about your diarrhea attack coming back? With just one dose of Imodium, you could stop diarrhea and get on with your day. Imodium.
Why are you driving?
When mobile manager systems could make the journey unnecessary.
Why are you flying?
When you could hold a video conference instead.
And why are you working late?
When something as simple as email can keep you in the loop. Why not change the way we work? For a guide to how you could take advantage of communications technology, call BT on 0800 800 800.
St Helens will be glad that this one's all over. They have lost by 65 points to 12 against their closest rivals, the Wigan Warriors. I'm not going to run through all the tries. You can read as easily as I can, but by the looks of that, it was a fairly emphatic victory, and indeed it was. Now then, man of the match, your view. Tony Smith, 22%. Jason Robinson, 34%, and Andy Farrell, 38%. Incredible, Andy Farrell. It's not the first time he's won your man of the match award, and he's talking now with Alistair.
Well, Andy Farrell, you've been voted man of the match. I believe it's your third time you've won it. Another commemorative video and another mini television for you. What is it like, the feeling in the dressing room after a performance like that one?
Oh, it's great. You can't beat this feeling when you've come to a ground like St Helens, who's such a good side, and you know, win with 60 points. That's tremendous.
Clearly now people are going to say, are you still now able to turn it round and go out back and actually win the title?
I don't know, it's going to be very hard. I mean, Bradford's a really good outfit. They've got a big squad, and if they pick up a few injuries, they've got people to fill in the places. So it's going to be very hard, but we'll just keep plugging away. And you know, our performance is getting better every week, and we're just trying to keep that up now.
And you're coming into form just as the World Club Championships are upon us. That's not bad timing either, is it?
Yeah, we're all aware of that, and we talk about that. We're trying to get better each week until we go to Australia. So hopefully we can do Wigan proud, we can do England proud when we go over there.
Well, congratulations. A good time to come into form. Everyone's back fit as well, so I suppose the mood is pretty good.
The mood is excellent at the moment. You know, we've got Paris before we go on Friday night, and you know, we're looking forward to the Australian trip.
The man of the match competition winner amongst you, the viewers, Graham Rogers from Stranraer in Scotland. Well done, Graham. And you can obviously pick out a fine rugby league player, because Andy Farrell was the overwhelming winner, no doubt about it. Robinson ran him close, though, didn't he? Good game, though, for Wigan. They are in awesome mood, and by the sound of things, they haven't thrown in the towel yet as far as this championship is concerned. We have Matthew Elliott from the Bradford Bulls with us. Wigan are breathing down your neck, maybe.
I tell you, if I was Eric Hughes, I'd tell them to keep their kid on. I'd get on the phone Andy Goodway, tell him to get over there and let's get the game on tonight. When you're in a run of form like that, you know, you've really got to just get on the park as much as possible, and they were fantastic tonight.
Well, it started in the 46th second when Robinson went over for his first try, and they just kept coming and coming all night, didn't they?
Easy match for you guys. You just sit there and call tries.
Exactly.
They were just fantastic. They really were. And if I could come up with another word, Bernard Dwyer's word, that is, by the way, I'd have another superlative for them. But they were just, there was nothing St Helens could do, honestly.
Well, Bernard Dwyer, a former St Helens star, of course, now with the Bradford Bulls. Steve-O, I wonder what he would say about his old club. If Wigan are fantastic, what were Saints?
He'll probably be smiling, that's what I think, because he's gone back to Bradford and he's doing very, very well. But full credit to Wigan, they really were awesome tonight. There was a period into it. But I mean, you get to a situation when Andy Farrell, deservedly the man of the match, but there was plenty who run him close, and none better than Horton. This second row had a tremendous second half. The way that Wigan just keep this ball alive, the enthusiasm. Look at that, turning in the tackle. There's no one-out football from these guys. Look at that, the Talek getting the ball away. Cowie, oh, this is superb. And the way that Paul came through, you can't go high on this guy. We keep mentioning it. His upper body strength is just absolutely amazing. And he doesn't mind celebrating somewhat. Tony Smith, another great player tonight. Again, get out of the way. You've got to go low. The enthusiasm there. Surely, his performances so far has got to be earmarked for the Great Britain squad. He was in fine form, as was all the Wigan side. We mentioned that Martin Hall, we didn't even have to call him, because all he had to do was just take care of the rucks. He did it so superbly. Quick play of the ball. They had St Helens going backwards all the time.
Well, it's been a formidable night for Wigan, and St Helens supporters have gone home with their tails well and truly between the legs. But I don't suppose there'll be any sympathy for them from you, because they've given you a hard time at Wembley the past couple of years.
Well, I don't have a great deal of sympathy for them, but anyone who shows out, and they did stay till the end, and I must admit there was some friendly banter between the two sets of speckies. So when you see a team put on a performance like Wigan did tonight, all you can do is sit back and watch it and enjoy it. Unfortunately, if your team's on the receiving end, it's not always that pleasant, but you've got to cut that off and enjoy the spectacle.
Well, we hope we'll enjoy the spectacle with you at Thrum Hall tomorrow night when the Bradford Bulls are there. Let's take a look at the other results from Super League today. Look at that at the top. Saints 12, Wigan 65. Castleford 30, Leeds 30. Oldham 19, Salford 10. Paris 16, London 20. And Warrington 12, Sheffield 38. What does it mean in terms of the table? The Bulls out in front. Leeds stay second. Wigan now third, but they have got 6 points to make up, and Bradford have got the game in hand. That game will be played tomorrow. Down at the bottom, Castleford and Paris and Oldham and Warrington and Sheffield. Looks like it's between any of those five who goes down. Now, what's coming up on Sky Sports and the Super League? Well, in 24 hours' time, we'll be at Halifax for Halifax against the Bradford Bulls. That should be some match too, another local derby, 7:30, Sky Sports 1. And Wednesday we're back to review it all with the World of Super League, 8:30, Sky Sports 1. Half an hour later than normal, 8:30 Wednesday, Sky Sports 1 for the World of Super League. We'll be looking ahead to Leeds Warrington. On Friday at 7, we'll be at Headingley. And then on Sunday, we're back at Halifax again to see how the Saints can pick up after the wreckage of this defeat. 6:30, Sky Sports 1, Halifax against Saints on Sunday. We say well done to Wigan. They are back. We've had Matthew with us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being with us. And Steve-O and I will, I hope, have the pleasure of your company from Thrum Hall. Till then, goodbye.
We'll sort it all out.
For easy...
Direct line.
Quick chat.
0891 333 888. 0891 333 888. Quick chat.
As a doctor, you need to know when to use patience and when to use speed. The V70 is all about composure. This environment is always testing your abilities. This car saves lives, and it helps me save lives.
Delgado, from love 3 down in this 4th set, has made something of a recovery, serving here 3-4. Still can't trust his serve.
No, he can't, and it was at this exact stage, serving for 4-all, but in fact going 3-5 in the 2nd set, where this match fell away from Jamie Delgado.
Law 30.
Good instinct again, I think, by Wayne Black. Knew just the moment to pounce and make Delgado hurry his shot.
Well, that was a good first serve, but if he doesn't get the first serve in, Wayne Black is attacking. He's all over the net. Well, it didn't work that time for him, but he is forcing, when he gets that return of second serve back in, he is forcing Delgado to play his second shot of the point under pressure, producing a pass.
Well,
now, if he can get this point, Wayne Black, he serves for the match. And to give Zimbabwe a lead of 1 love after the opening rubber, a key victory.
Well, then, please, not a double fault after this long wait.
I think he had to make that. You could see the relief on his face. It was an adventurous and bold shot.
Certainly was, and beautifully produced. He let himself go. He's slightly off balance when he played it.
Advantage Zimbabwe.
Well, I think that's 12 double faults. That's 3 entire games. I mean, it's no joke. Well, different sort of backhand. Roll backhand this time, but a beautiful shot. Twice he saved virtual match points.
Well, he ran beautifully, did Delgado. He certainly hasn't given anything up. But for the 3rd time in this game, he's facing a break point.
let it get from Wayne Black, and that was simple.
Three times now in this game, on break points, he's had to make good shots, and it's taken courage, and he's produced the goods.
Zimbabwe.
Well, that was tough on Delgado, really. I didn't see his eyes on the ball when he hit that final shot, but he's certainly going for his shots with courage. Fourth break point. Well, I don't know how long this can go on, but this is finished off by an exquisite little shot there.
Juice.
That required courage too, and skill and coolness under pressure. That's 4 break points, virtual match points. He saved very, very well.
Advantage Zimbabwe.
One of the people watching Delgado, no doubt chewing his nails, is his coach these days, Dave Samuel. I'm sure he's taken a note about this. Hitches on the serve. Really, it was heroic through 4 break points, but in the end you felt the tougher man on the day was going to come through, and he has, and he showed the most wonderful disposition, real heart, real sternness, has Wayne Black. And here at 5-3 in the 4th set, having been all at sea at the start, the younger of the black boys is serving to give Zimbabwe a lead of 1-love.
It's such a pity, isn't it, that those were so unerring in the early stages of this match. Just beautiful shots came flowing off his racket. How a match can change.
$50 more.